Welcome back. Good morning, Tampa Bay. A situation that we're closely following this morning. The possibility of military base closures heating up in D.C. and the Florida House has passed a bill that would effectively end the Florida Defense Alliance. That is a nonprofit group that protects 20 military installations all across the state, including MacDill Air Force Base here in Tampa. Governor Rick Scott, a big supporter of the Florida Defensive Alliance. He is with us this morning to talk about what he's trying to do to keep our state's military bases protected and how it could impact us if they aren't. Governor, you said recently that you would be shocked if anyone would try and hurt any military base's ability to fulfill their mission, but that's exactly what the House has done here in a way by supporting this bill. Now, you said you also could veto this bill, and you would veto it if it ever got to your desk, but why would the House support it in the first place?
Well, first off, there's a bill. And then they've got to provide funding through the budget. So there's two things. So if they don't provide funding through the budget, there's nothing I can do about it. We have 20 military bases, 3 unified commands. These are very important to our state. It's very important to our nation to fulfill their missions, right? So first off, our job is to help them fulfill their missions. Then we like the economic benefit of all the jobs it helps create here. Look at MacDill Air Force Base, how significant it is to this community. So the Florida House has voted as part of eliminating Enterprise Florida, which has helped us create more jobs.
Right, Enterprise Florida.
Yep. Yeah, they voted, and a lot of local state reps voted to eliminate the Florida Defense Alliance, which makes no sense to me. So I'm traveling this state to make sure everybody knows the importance of this. So you'll call your House member, call your senators, and let them know the importance of the Florida Defense Alliance and of course, Enterprise Florida.
Well, why is having the alliance in Florida, specifically Tampa, so crucial? Are we talking economic reasons, or is there something else?
Well, first off, from a job standpoint, it's very important. So here's what every so often they look at shutting down military bases around the country, this BRAC, and they're talking about it again. Mm-hmm. And so what do we do at the Florida Defense Alliance? We help them deal with encroachment issues if somebody's building something around the base which would impact their mission. We help their families, whether it's helping them make sure their children get in the right schools. If they have a child that's developmentally disabled, get into the right program, make sure their spouses can get a job, all these things to make sure these military bases know that we want them here. I meet with the military, all the base commanders around the state about every 120 days and solve their problems.
Well, leads me to my next question, too. Let's talk directly to the people watching this morning. The thousands of people who work in the base and thousands more that live around it, should they care about what happens at the base? Because so many people don't know.
Well, if one of our bases gets closed, there are a lot of people are going to lose their job, right? It's bad for our country because then we can't fulfill the mission. But even just if you think about it personally, it's going to impact somebody's job. Think of how many jobs are impacted with MacDill here, and all the vendors, all the restaurants, all the apartment complexes, everybody that sells things to MacDill. Those could go away if we don't continue to support our bases. So I'm going to travel the state. I'm going to fight for jobs. I'm going to fight to make sure our bases stay here and we help them fulfill their mission and we keep all those jobs in Florida.
Governor, I would be remiss if I didn't ask you while you're here. We've reported on the healthcare situation developing in D.C. So far, Republicans obviously have been at odds over how to replace Obamacare. You've said Obamacare needs to be completely overhauled. This morning, what changes would you like to see, and what would you like to see benefit the people of Florida?
Well, the most important thing is make sure people can have access to health care they can afford. I grew up in a family, we lived in public housing. I watched my mom cry when my brother couldn't get health care that he needed. It's important. I ran the largest hospital company. It's important that people have access to health care. They've got to be able to afford it. So we have to have a bill that does these things. Drive down cost, make sure you get the insurance that you want. So make sure there's competition, let you buy the insurance you want, sell across state lines. All these things, and on top of that, fix our Medicaid program so we can afford it and people get access to care.
Governor Scott, thanks so much for joining us on Good Morning Tampa Bay.
Nice seeing you, James.
All right, thank you.